It's 1:45 p.m. here in Sogankope, Alavanyo, just behind the Icon filling station. That is where the studios of Apenya Media is, and it's time to bring you news brief for today. My name is Dumevi Kwame Apollo. Now, in today's bulletin, we'll be taking a look at the timeline for the removal of the electronic levy that was captured in this year's budget, and also we would have an item where the Transport Ministry sets up a 13-member committee to review the ban on Okada. Also, the brouhaha between the former finance minister and the special prosecutor continues to wait on, with its lawyers, the lawyers of Ken Ofori-Atta, sending a caution to the special prosecutor. Then also on issues with Galamsey, Nana Obiri-Buahen, who is a former general secretary of the NPP, has been talking and made some assertions on the Galamsey. Then an update also on the long-awaited case of the murder of Ahmed Swale. There is an update that will also come your way. Accra Sports Stadium to also undergo some level of renovation, and a shutdown is due after the Chad game. This and many more will be coming your way today on News Brief. Once again, my name is Dumevi Kwame Apollo. Stay tuned, let's bring you details. Thank you for staying, and now let's go into the details for you, where we are starting from the removal of the electronic levy in Ghana. Deputy Finance Minister Thomas Ampem Nyaku has confirmed that the removal of the controversial electronic levy, christened e-levy, will take effect by the end of March 2025, pending the approval of the 2025 budget and appropriation. Speaking on the Oxfam Tax Dialogue on Channel 1 TV today, March 18, Mr. Nyaku explained that once Parliament finalizes the budget processes, the e-levy removal will be implemented. The MP for Isujaman stated that it will take effect the moment the budget and appropriation is approved, and that will be by the 31st of this month. Beyond tax reforms, Nyaku also underscored the need for a comprehensive review of Ghana's investment climate, while acknowledging the country's strong democratic reputation as a key attraction for foreign investors. He noted that other critical factors are discouraging investment inflows. He said that Ghana as a country have not fully leveraged on good democratic credentials. A lot of foreign investors prefer Ghana because of its stable political environment, but some way, somehow, other factors are driving investors away. He called for a deeper analysis and stakeholder engagement to identify and resolve these investment barriers, urging discussions on what Ghana might not be doing right. Meanwhile, he has also urged the government to enhance transparency and accountability in public spending, particularly regarding cost-saving initiatives. He commended President John Dramani Mahamad's decision to reduce the number of ministers from 86 to 60, but emphasized the need for a clear breakdown of the financial savings generated from the move. He argued that showcasing the exact amount saved and how it is utilized would set a precedent for future administrations to maintain a lean government. He believes that demonstrating how tax revenues directly contribute to infrastructure and public services could boost compliance and trust in the system. Now, of course, let's also go into the issue of Okada. So we know that the government of Ghana has banned the commercial use of motorcycles, and then there is a little change that has been coming in over the period. The Ministry of Transport has thus tasked a 13-member interagency committee to review the aspect of the Road Traffic Regulations 2021, which is LI 2180, that prohibits the use of Okada for commercial purposes. According to the sector minister, Joseph Bukari Nikbe, the committee is expected to complete its work within 3 weeks. He stressed that this move is part of efforts by the Mahama government to legalize the use of motorcycles for commercial purposes. In a media interview after inaugurating the committee today, March 18, Mr. Bukari Nikbe mentioned that the government hopes to allow the use of Okada for commercial purposes following the review of the law. He said the committee would take ideas and suggestions that will facilitate the amendment of the LI so that young people can use that as a legal means of earning some income. Now, let's take you also to the current brouhaha up and down between the former finance minister Ken Ofori-Atta and the office of the special prosecutor, especially with the special prosecutor Kisi Ajeben himself. Frank Davis, a member of the legal team representing former Minister of Finance Ken Ofori-Atta, has disclosed that the lawsuit filed against the office of the special prosecutor prevents them from making statements about their client. According to Davis, the injunction relief included in the suit, which has been served on the office of the special prosecutor, restrains the OSP from making public comments that seek to threaten or intimidate Ken Ofori-Atta. In response to the OSP's statement, it will take more drastic measures, including declaring Ofori-Atta wanted again if he fails to appear by the June 2, 2025 deadline. Davis remarked on Asasi Radio that he would not make such comments if he were the special prosecutor, especially after being served with a court process. The office of the special prosecutor, in a statement issued yesterday, announced that Ken Ofori-Atta would have his name re-entered on the list of wanted persons and be declared a fugitive from justice if he fails to comply with the June 2, 2025 deadline. The OSP further stated that it will take additional severe measures to apprehend the former minister, including requesting the issuance of an Interpol Red Notice, which calls on law enforcement agencies worldwide to locate and provisionally arrest individuals declared wanted. In relation to the lawsuit filed against the OSP, the office acknowledged the legal proceedings initiated by Ken Ofori-Atta challenging its earlier declaration of him as a wanted fugitive. The statement clarified, however, that the OSP complied with a formal request made by the former minister to have his name removed from the list of wanted persons, as he had expressed a willingness to avail himself for investigations into the charges made against him. And now let's also go into issues of galamsey, where it is becoming quite rampant, and as much as government tries to fight it, it also tries to fight government back over the period. Previous governments have tried as much as they could, but it is still prevalent in most of the places. Now, this is where Nana Obiri Buahin, a former Deputy General Secretary of the NPP, has indicated that the use of a joint security task force to clamp down on illegal mining cannot curb the menace. According to him, the government's use of a task force in combating galamsey is not pragmatic given the pervasiveness of the canker. He condemned the politicization of the fight against illegal mining and called for a more inclusive approach to the fight against the vice that is fast eroding the vegetation and also polluting water bodies. He said the hue and cry about NPP or NDC bigwigs being culpable of illegal mining is much ado about nothing. He also observed that the current strategy of deploying security task force to infiltrate galamsey hotspots is cosmetic and lacks the potency to root out the canker entirely. He advocated for active engagement of chiefs, DCEs, MCEs, and MPs to tackle it on the grounds, saying the minister sitting in Accra trying to solve the problem will not be a helpful one. He noted that in the event of community mining, a thorough education on safe practices such as reclamation and outright avoidance of water pathways could best be facilitated by the chiefs and the DCEs at the district level. He recommended a dialogue rooted in culture, education, climate change, and environmental protection as the best way to mitigate the canker. He emphasized also that it is not the activity of mining in itself that is problematic, but a wanton disregard for best practices in mineral exploration that remains the issue of concern. And now on this note of Obiri Buahin is where I take a break and take a quick message from my sponsors, Safred Global Services. Coming back, we deal with the issue with the arrest of a key suspect of Ahmed Suale's murder case. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
From anywhere in the USA to anywhere in Ghana, we manage the entire shipping process, documentation, packing, shipping, warehousing, and final delivery. We will be with you all throughout. Simply place your order and relax. Your shipment is in safe hands. At Safred Global Services, we guarantee safe and timely delivery of consignments of any size. Trust us with your packages, crates, and containers for utmost satisfaction. Our customers always come first. We at Safred Global Services provide the safest, smoothest, and fastest yet affordable sea freight forwarding assistance between the USA and Ghana. Visit our Ghana warehouse at 127 Blue Street, Enya, off the Awoshi Ablekuma Pokwasi Highway in Accra. In the USA, our office is located at 2013 Fortune Drive, Lawrenceburg, Kentucky 40342. Call us at 502-353-4407 or 614-622-6977. Safred Global Services. Reliable, affordable, timely.
And thank you for staying for the rest of the bulletin. And now, the news came in yesterday of the arrest of a key suspect of Ahmed Suale in that murder case. Now, the Ghana Police Service, in its quest to delve deeper into the murder of investigative journalist Ahmed Suale, has arrested an interested party connected to the case. The suspect, identified as a close friend of the deceased, is accused of selling him out by releasing his photographs to a popular politician in Ghana before his murder in cold blood. Ahmed Hussein Suale, who was killed near his family house in Medina on January 16, 2025 by unknown assailants. This was after he collaborated with the BBC on an investigative story. The two had worked together at Tiger Eye Private Investigations before the dismissal of the suspect from Tiger Eye PI. Daniel Osu Cranton is his name, and who is also popularly known as Akwesi Amache. He disguised himself and left the shores of the country immediately after the police picked up information about his involvement in the case. It follows the extraction of important information by the FBI in the USA, including phone calls between the suspect and the deceased days before his death. The phones of the late Ahmed Suale were sent to the USA as part of police investigations. A source close to the police criminal investigations department has said that the suspect used to visit the deceased, a close friend, at his Medina-based residence. According to the source, Amachi relocated to the UK when police were closing in on him. He is said to have sneaked into Ghana last week, leading to his arrest at Amasamai Adease at a hair plaiting salon. MyJoyOnline.com reported that the arrest of the suspect has been met with some ill feelings as a top brass police officer is pushing to interfere with the investigations, pushing for the suspect to be granted police inquiry bail instead of him being put before the court. The situation is said to be creating an uneasy calm at the police headquarters. Ahmed Suale was killed after he and his Tiger Eye PI team exposed widespread corruption in the African football, particularly with a focus on Ghana football. Now, talking also about Ghana football, I bring you to the story where Ghana would be playing Chad on Friday. The Sports Ministry has this to say. So the Minister for Sports and Recreation, Kofi Adams, has disclosed that government intends to close down the Accra Sports Stadium for renovation works after the March international window. Ghana is set to host Chad in a 2026 World Cup qualifier on Friday, March 21, 2025 at the stadium. The first time the facility will be hosting a football game since November 2024. But 4 months of inactivity has not allowed authorities to fix glaring issues in the stadium, with the Minister of Sports suggesting the nation's Wembley is no more fit for purpose. In an interview with TV3, he said following the assessment that they did, the engineers advised the entire upper stand towards the Independence Square must not be utilized because it has integrity issues, so there will be no supporters there. The Accra Sports Stadium last underwent major renovation works in 2018 ahead of that year's Women's AFCON tournament, which the country hosted. And of course, that is all for today. I thank you for staying. But before I take leave of you, let's run up to some of the issues in this bulletin. Deputy Finance Minister assures that the e-levy will be removed end of March 2025. Transport Ministry also sets up a 13-member committee to review Okada ban. The brouhaha between Ken Ofori-Atta, the former finance minister, and the Office of the Special Prosecutor continues, with Ofori-Atta's lawyers cautioning the Special Prosecutor. Then Nana Obiri-Buahin, a former General Secretary of the NPP, talks tough on Galamsey and calls for inclusive fight. Then also an update on the murder case of Ahmed Swale, an investigative journalist with Tiger Eye PI, suggests that police has arrested a key suspect in the case. And also we are told by the Sports and Recreation Minister that the Accra Sports Stadium will be closed for renovation works just after the games with Chad. Once again, my name is Dumevi Kwame Apollo. Thank you for staying. And remember, 4 p.m. we bring you Afenya Jojo. Thank you for staying. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And see you tomorrow, 1:45 p.m.